Audio check. Checking audio.
Hello.
Welcome back to Jacob V Weekly. We are on the road with no antics in the van. I mean, it's
214 miles from Indianapolis.
Yeah,
and I'm eating a wrap from QT.
Yeah. You got a mic? You got the mic?
In my hand.
Perfect. Well, I have one that we could put up there, and then I have Molly's holding it right now, and then I got this one, and we can pass this around.
Yeah,
whatever
you want
works.
to take this for while you finish eating this?
Yeah, you don't need to eat into the mic. I'm like, Molly said, let's go live, and then started eating. I told you that's the thing. That's how you capture. Diesel. Keep the phone. Watch the tip. Watch the tip. Who is talking about what? He can hold it. You got to point it at a mouth. Like on The Price is Right. You ever watch The Price is Right?
Are we going?
Jacob V Weekly. We are on the road. We are back on the road with No Antics, talking about some No Vantics. Jacob V Weekly, Femme Grime, World Tour.
Dave Matthews Van.
Dave Matthews Band. Dave Matthews Van full of human shit. This episode is brought to you by Caddyshack of New Hamel, Illinois. Check them out online. You can check us out online at patreon.com/JacobV or jacobv.com. You can see all the posters for our flyers, as the kids call them, for boomers call them posters.
We are currently driving past where Tyler grew up.
Yeah, we're in the swamplands of southern Illinois. You are a tadpole and you're from the swamp, Tyler.
Shout out to Harmon Dobson.
Shout out to Harmon Dobson, Swamp Kings. No Antics has a new song out called Flames in Post. That should be in your rotation right now. We also have from a couple months ago now, Fembots, hot new single about SpaghettiOs. I mean, let me tell you, it's hard out here. You know what I mean? Grinding the con, taking the show on the road. Did we get the merch?
Yeah.
Praise God. The merch is in the whip. My wife is here. Kanan?
Hi.
My wife. That's awful. That's so stupid. I prefer the one from the other guys.
Never get old.
Yeah. Because it's, I like when he goes, my wife's name, right. That's my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Christina! That guy's going nuts on Twitter, though. Apparently he's Jewish and he's real deep in the Israel thing. And I forget his name. Israel, top of the show. As always. Let's reflect. We didn't really regroup for the pod after last weekend in, what was it called?
Lawrence.
We were in Lawrence, Kansas. And actually, I mean, I told the story a bit in the van the next day. But you guys, I kind of wanted your perspective on the end of the night. My memory is that we had been awake all day, traveling, working hard, stressed out. And, you know, Miles wanted a burrito.
Yeah.
And Molly didn't want a burrito. And Molly was kind of out of gas. No, right. Hold on. Will you let me tell my story first, and then I want you to add. No. And no. And then no. And we didn't know if we were getting paid or how much or what was going to happen. And we're on the road, and we're in a Super 8, and things are hard, and we don't have burritos. Even if we did want them, we don't have any. And then we find out that, you know, the show actually made money. It wasn't a waste of time. It was a really good time while we were on stage. The room was full of enthusiastic people. It was really great. But I wanted to talk to you about that moment where everyone was getting upset and we didn't know if it was going to be worth it. And then we realized, guys, we don't have to be mad about the burritos. Everything's going to be okay.
Well, really, what saved the day was the fact that the Super 8 just happened to be right next to a QT.
Can we start there?
I thought I was.
Please. Amen, Sister Molly.
Well, yeah, here's the thing. When you've been driving and you've had some, like, sad stuff in your personal life, and then you just, like, drink heavily because they give you, like, way too more free pitchers than they said they were going to give you.
Let me just say one thing. they're not good at counting the free pitchers. When they're giving you free pitchers, they're not good at counting them.
We got a lot of free pitchers.
No, it was definitely at least 4. So, and it was a late show, later than I'm used to being up on most nights.
I think
so,
it was more like 6.
Yeah, we got.
Yeah, I think it was. That's why I was like, it was at least 4, but I think it might have been 6.
They meant 4 per band member.
No,
You mean 2?
It was 3
Well-
per band member, but they weren't keeping track.
Whatever.
No, but I'm saying that's what ended up happening. We got like 2 pitchers per drinking band member.
Yeah.
It was great.
Tensions got high, but once we realized QT was there, the money was there, the success of the show was there.
That's exactly what I was saying, is that it's just in a moment, we could have all crumbled to pieces right then. And if they had taken any longer to settle up with us, I might not have been able to save the day. Was that bouncer horrifying to you? The guy with the sweatpants and the tall white socks?
How was he horrifying?
He was a big guy, very serious, and he gave off like Eastern European vibes. Oh, okay. So I see. This is my role. I protect you guys from these creatures. that
We are
meet on the
currently
road.
driving past Tyler's second home.
Tyler's second home looks a little bit more like if you
I did
put
not come from
a
a swamp.
prefabricated building on a swamp.
What was that?
I came from Peebly. It's not a swamp.
Describe
It's a
Peebly
swamp.
to me.
Indianapolis. It's just a small.
208 miles. This is going to be a 9-hour podcast.
I think, going back to the night, I think that the best part above anything was finding a piece of a hot dog
In the toilet.
in the toilet, and then the only person who was eating a hot dog denying
Just
that it was him.
out.
No way, bro.
And then the next morning when Tyler and I came in and you guys asked again, he still denied it until he was
Man,
informed
let
that
it
he
be
was the
known-
only one.
Let it be known that Dee Dee and Miles were cuddling on top of a taquito.
No, we talked about
I
that.
did
They
wake up
weren't cooked.
very
They
close to
were
him.
bites.
I don't think he remembers this, but I woke up to him saying something to me, and I wasn't very, coherent enough to, realize what he was saying, but I knew that when I woke up an inch away from his face, that he was probably asking for some room, which, that being
That's
said,
fair.
him saying that he wanted to face to ace me all day,
So he was
clearly he didn't want to face to ace me. And
Moral of the
or
story.
face to face me.
Or face to.
So I turned the other way.
Yeah,
Ace-
I
ace
noticed.
to
Can I?
taquito.
I will say, since Miles got that girlfriend, he's been way less into the gay shit.
Yeah, that's
All right.
that tends to happen also.
Let the
you
record
get out
show
of
no
jail.
Antics is very friendly to the LGBTQ community.
Miles is the one that's going cis head on us.
Well, let the man do it. Why are you
Hey,
dictating
the
his
Holy Roman
choices?
Empire-
Right to choose, bro. What
Warriors laid together for warmth.
Ace to taquito.
in the Viking era?
And when
Yeah,
my
he went
people are
ace
Vikings,
to
and
taquito.
when we were Vikings, I could cuddle up to a man.
I think there was a buffalo
battle.
chicken.
There was
Also-
two.
But not
I think
today,
there was
huh?
2 items.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all stigmatized now. People will tell. My mother would tell you right now, I'm not even going into battle, and I say I disagree.
What battle?
It's a battle of sorts.
It's
But
a
yeah,
battle of sorts,
if
Dee.
people just let people be just chill. Just worry about yourself.
People-
It ain't
People are not
affecting you
people.
if they ain't murdering your family or pet or something or
That is-
disrupting your life in any way.
Wait, is this show like Will Tierney said that one time? We were playing a show at the Get Down, and he texted me. He said, "So, is everybody allowed, or just people?"
Just people.
And I didn't really understand what that meant. So I said, "I think everybody and people,
And people.
I think he was trying to ask, is it open to the public,
or just people."
or is it invite only? He's like, can I get a couple glasses of milk? Is this and anything
So
goes?
do you have beer or just drinks?
You guys got?
Shout out Will
You guys have cocktails or just drinks?
Tierney.
Are you?
The Tierney.
Do you guys have RC cola or just colas?
Yeah.
Lawrence was worth it. No regrets. And I'll go back. That barbecue in KC really, we really needed to refuel at that moment, and it couldn't have come a moment sooner.
I want to see Jacob with just a stash.
Yes, you have a very good stash.
Can you tell him to quit playing with it?
Well, it's long. It's long, but I haven't usually I'll get annoyed with it and I'll trim it off by now, but then I look like Abraham Lincoln or Hamish from the furniture company and for a couple of weeks because my mustache is way shorter than the beard. But I realized it's because I was just trying to comb my beard down, but then it was always in my way. And so now I've been constantly twirling it outward. And but I do not historically, and this is on the record, I've been long documented saying this, and that I don't trust a man that wears just a mustache.
What about me when I had the stash?
What is it, Miles, usually?
It's, well, okay, number one, you didn't do it for very long. You're not doubling down on the lifestyle.
Yeah,
you know what I
I'll do
mean?
it for like a month or two.
Yeah. But
Miles looks good with a stash. I like Miles' stash.
Well, yeah, that's because you faced Ace with it.
but unless
Tickles my butt.
you're like an out loud gay guy that looks like the brawny man, you shouldn't have a solo mustache. And you know what I mean? Unless you're really gonna like chop some wood, I don't want to see just a mustache. The young guys were doing. Yeah, if you're chopping wood, you can have a mustache. But if you're not chopping wood, or you're not like living out some kind of fantasy where you would be chopping wood, but instead you're getting wood or something, you know what I mean? Like, that's not what I want.
Should I bring back the stash?
Well, listen, I think it sends the wrong message. I mean, historically, I think I'm used to seeing a solo mustache on a guy in a white wife beater that's very clean and thinking, oh, that's a gay gentleman. And he's signaling to his community that, hey, come and get it, sister. Now, when I see just a mustache on a cis-het young gentleman, I feel like they're trying something out.
Are you projecting your gay fantasy onto the mustache people?
I didn't say I didn't like
Indianapolis.
the traditional brawny man dudes, but that's where the mustache belongs. I don't have dreadlocks. Because that would be inappropriate. Dreadlocks don't belong on me.
It's like appropriating.
Very different than a mustache.
A mustache does not put a
mustache.
I don't like. I have a beard.
That is like
You should have a
saying
beard.
You should be allowed to transition, but then the pedophiles should be in the LGBTQ thing. That is so different, and you're conflating two different ideas.
I didn't say they can't have them. I didn't say it should be illegal. I said I don't get it. When a young cis-het gentleman has a solo mustache,
You gotta have something to say.
because if
I
you
honestly don't know like what we're talking about.
if your father,
We went up the rails. He's saying
if you're,
he's saying mustache.
I didn't say can't. I didn't say can't. I said I don't like it.
You shouldn't. No,
This is why I wouldn't just wear a mustache. And this conversation started because it was like, why don't?
It's one of those
Well,
where it's
95% of the reason why I ever grow my stash out is because Dee Dee wants to see the stash.
Yeah,
You just said
No,
Like a
but no, that's the tradition of the mustache that I'm.
I mean, explain this, 'cause
Hold on, I do want it, but he's pointing out this is the tradition of the mustache that I want. When a man grows a mustache because another man wants him to, I like that.
Okay.
But if a man grows a mustache,
He is comparing. He just said only the brawny gay man should have a mustache, and then said, "I don't have dreadlocks. I'm not allowed to have dreadlocks, just like no one else should. I shouldn't have dreadlocks."
I just
So
said they didn't belong
saying,
on me.
yeah, but that is a. I don't think
real
any
hot in
white
this van
person
right
should
now.
have dreadlocks.
You what?
No white person should be rocking dreadlocks, but any
I
person.
think that
can,
people. I think that if I'd never brushed my hair, I would naturally grow dreadlocks. So
I
you know,
get
it's
that,
just kind of
but-
like. I think that
you're also in the minority of people that look like us. You and me could probably get dreadlocks. Pretty Tyler
I've
too,
found
probably.
Bonnie, my friend.
My friend Bonnie.
She found a big ass dreadlock in the back of my head one time because
That's
I
a
used to
weird
not
way
brush.
to tell a story.
I used to not brush my hair.
I got the dread
because
on me.
everybody told me you have curly hair, don't brush it. So when I was growing it out, I didn't, and I had a big ass dread in the back of my head. So I had her cut it out, and then I couldn't grow a stash still. So I glued the dreadlock to my lip, and I rocked that for about 6 months.
It's horrible.
I couldn't shower
What did that
because then
smell
the
like?
glue would come off.
What did that smell like with an old dreadlock under your nose? An old, forgotten, accidental dreadlock under your nose
I would
for 6
just
months?
I would just Axe body spray my face every once in a
Oh,
while.
that's awful. my friend Dason, master of hair, shout out, told me one time that he knew girls at festivals that had, vape check number 4. On the record, number 4 going in. Changing 4, boss. Mike Tyson, pink lemonade.
15 minutes.
That could be the frozen grape, actually. It's one or the other. That girl, like festival girls with dreadlocks, would wash their hair in a park bathroom with the pink antibacterial hand soap. Oh yeah,
That can't be good for your hair.
It can't be good for nothing. Can you imagine smelling somebody that smells like they just got real clean with some antibacterial pink rest stop hand soap?
Well, that soap smells bad to begin
Trump
with.
sign. Are we in Trump country?
We're
Well,
passing
we're
a
far
Tr-
enough from the city.
Let it be known we're passing a Trump sign right now.
So, I won't make the joke.
But it just says Trump.
It's got a bunch of
That's
paintball.
the joke we're not going to make.
It's got a bunch of
It does.
paintball marks on it.
Yeah, that's a good
Or
one.
maybe those are tomato stains or something.
Someone-
Tomatoes. It's probably paintballs.
Out here, it could be tomatoes.
It's not tomatoes.
How do you know?
They grow. This is not that right there is nothing but canola and soybean.
I see.
Hey, where are these people going to get tomatoes? If you have a truck full of delicious ripe tomatoes, you're not going to throw them at a sign. You're going to sell them.
Yeah.
They're still red, guys.
Yeah.
They're still red. It's paint. It's from a paintball gun.
Either way, fuck you out of that person. So,
But also true. Who are you guys going to vote for?
let's not.
Yikes.
Anyone else than the options we
It's
have?
getting real hot in this van.
I may jump
You
in.
started with
I'll-
Israel.
I'll put
and
my-
now we're going to political preference.
You brought the pedophiles in.
I want David Spade to run for president as Joe Dirt, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I just heard about is that did you guys hear? You guys saw the clip from that podcast about the Kid Rock has a replica of the White House built on his property.
What?
Yeah, he's got
Like
but it's
life
bigger than the
size?
White House. But there's a house on one of Kid Rock's rural properties outside of Nashville where he built a larger than scale replica of the White House because the White House is not big enough. That's the number one complaint, and so his is bigger.
That's a complaint?
People complain the White House is not very big because when they built the White House, people were smaller, and as government grows, the White House stays the same size.
George Washington was huge.
No.
He was over 6 foot.
Yeah, but that's not common.
Yeah, that's why he was so huge.
That's why they thought he was one of the engineers from Prometheus. They thought he was the creator. That's why I didn't know he was that tall. That makes sense.
Yeah, he was a big man.
Do people tell you that because you're so tall? They're like, George Washington was tall.
No, it's actually like a Shane Gillis bit of some sort of just how he
Abort.
had,
Abort.
yeah.
Move on.
Or
Well, he had a good SNL.
Not a sponsor.
He had a good SNL. He had a good SNL episode.
touching Shane Gillis.
I just don't want to talk about other podcasters, like people that are famous for podcasting, because they all just talk about themselves so much. Why don't we talk about me?
Good one.
So Jacob is a guy
He's a guy.
who,
Maybe the most
Doesn't-
interesting guy we know.
yes.
I agree.
I told Jacob, I said, I don't think I'll ever meet anybody else like you ever again in my life. And he said, that's good.
It's a good thing. We were on the playground at that park when you said that.
Yeah, let's, yeah. Cut that.
No, we were at the. It's in the last episode when we went to shoot content in the park, and you guys made me hike at General Custer's Last Stand. That's the cabin where he killed his whole family on Halloween in 1874.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't read the plaque, bro?
We're driving past a jail right now.
Is it a prison?
prison.
It's a,
A prison.
penitentiary. Ooh, pull over. Hey, boys.
It's like a nicer one. At least they're on the outside.
Yeah,
The
Supermax.
one in Colorado is scary looking.
I'd love to get in there.
Look at all that blue.
Have any of you guys ever been held in a cell before?
No.
I should
No.
have been, but no, I got out of it.
I had a lot of lunch detentions as a young child.
I don't think it's the same thing.
I would what I would do if I had a lunch detention in elementary school is I would sit at the table in the conference room where they would park me, and I would start counting to pass the time, but I would get bored, so I would go 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 200, 201, and so I was skipping ahead. I would just count the first 10 in any given bracket.
Why would you do that?
I was just counting to pass the time, but I was like, I was still going to keep counting, but I didn't want to count all of the numbers in between.
Were they making you count?
No, I'm just disabled. I can't turn my brain off and disassociate. I have an internal monologue. I have to be moving.
I'm pretty good at disassociating.
I know, that's what I'm saying about you. That's why you're so confused, because you have a lunch detention. That's why you're confused right now, is because when you have a lunch detention, they park you at this table, and then next thing you know, they're saying, okay, you can go to class now. Because you can unplug. You have Zen. You're connected to the spirits of the elders.
The elders.
Whereas me, I'm some kind of demon, and I have to constantly be fucking... I'm like that neurotic pufferfish that makes the stone garden to attract a mate, even if he didn't even see a pufferfish. Dude, the pufferfish will make elaborate, ornate designs out of rocks and pebbles and seashells on the seafloor to attract a mate, and he'll spend days doing this. And then the mating process actually only takes like 9 seconds.
Do you know that dolphins get high off of pufferfish?
Into the microphone, Diesel.
Did you know that dolphins get high off of...
I believe it. We smoke tree frog venom as humans. We don't. We haven't done it. Maybe we should. People are going to Mexico City to smoke tree frog venom.
Would you ever do ayahuasca?
Absolutely. In a heart. I'll do it this weekend.
I'll do it.
Unannounced.
I'll fucking do it.
If you know an Indianapolis ayahuasca shaman, if you could call me.
Where is that? Like, where do you go?
Costa Rica,
right?
Is where people like to do it.
I had a buddy who just did that, and they came back and got super sober, and now they do tarot card readings.
Tarot cards.
Tarot card readings.
Ayahuasca is a gateway drug to tarot cards. That's what I'm hearing.
Tools, are we going the speed limit?
Yeah, I just don't want to go too fast with that trailer.
Yeah, I got you. Here we're actually driving past Tyler's third home.
He moved a lot when he was
He moved a lot, but one thing we know about Tyler, he likes to have access to water.
Peevely is not a swamp. Shout out to Peevely. It's
Tyler,
not a swamp.
you're talking to 5 Kirkwood pioneers right now. We're never going to believe Peevely's not a swamp because we have Valley Park. We have our own swamp.
Yeah, that is a swamp. It floods like a motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. That's why we make them have their own school district with 3 people in it, because it's like I ain't letting those swamp babies into my lovely beach community.
You know the guy who wrote Fireflies?
Do
you think he was... Do you think...
Owl City?
Yeah. Wait, is that Owl City?
Owl City.
Oh. Wait, then who's the band that did like the ba-ba-ba-ba? Midnight City?
That's Midnight City was the name of that song by M83.
You're right.
M83. Who else is doing it like I'm doing it, Kaden?
M83's cool. I like them.
Yeah, that was the free iTunes single of the week when it came out, and so I blasted that one hellas. That was probably the best decision they ever made, was make that song free for 7 days.
I think the worst decision that was ever made was forcing everybody to listen to U2 when they downloaded it. Yeah.
So every time you connect to a new...
What the fuck?
So every time you could...
Like this ceiling
Will
was
you
on
let
fire.
me talk about U2's bullshit album they forced onto our phones? Every time you connect to a new Bluetooth device, you get some random fucking U2 song you don't want to listen to with a naked picture of a gentleman on it. What was that about? There was topless on the cover. And he was hugging him around the waist.
Was that it?
Yeah.
I just remember I was like, I didn't buy this.
I didn't buy this. How'd you get this on my phone?
That was back when you still had to buy everything. Yeah.
That's like if someone like broke in but left something nice behind. Like someone like leaves like their iPad on your counter, and you're like, I don't have a fucking iPad.
Does that happen to you a lot?
Yeah. Thieves leave shit behind because there's so much stuff in my house. They take some things, but then they leave like
Then they leave their iPad.
they'll leave an iPad.
Well, that's the best part about having parties at your house is you end up with like 9 cases of half drinking beers.
Whose house?
And that's
you like the boxes of Busch Light in the corner. You can save the ones
That was
that.
at my house.
Yeah.
Do I?
He hides Bud Light around his house like they're Easter eggs. You walk in, there's 6 in a box next to the door. There's one in the windowsill around the back of the fridge, unopened. But it's like the emergency. It's like in 1408 where he's carrying around the old cigarette all the time. Like Dee Dee's got Bud Light in the rafters.
Shower beers are great.
So
I'm getting to the point where I hate water so much that I'll drink a room temperature Diet Coke out of the can. Do you do that with Bud Light? Will you drink a room temperature Bud Light?
Yeah.
In the shower?
In the shower, I prefer cold.
I like a frosty
but
cold.
I will drink a warm Bud Light.
Give Tyler the mic for a second. Tyler?
So, remember when we went to that Mardi Gras party and I put that Funyun on the dude's ceiling lamp? Or no, his ceiling fan? Or no, it was like on the light, the chandelier.
Yes.
I wonder if it's still sitting there.
I bet you it's still sitting there.
If you hung a Funyun up in my house, my dogs would get it.
Can they jump pretty high?
If you held a Funyun up in my house, I don't know why I said that like that. My dogs would get that. My dog get that Funyun, Tyler.
Are you a shower beer guy, Dee Dee?
Yeah. Shower vape. I don't know. I just recently started buying vapes again because I'm trying to stop smoking weed. And I think I need to throw it away. Because
It's stupid. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
It's dumb. It can't.
Even smoke cigarettes.
It cannot be good for you. It's just like But also we're regressing. I have 12-year-old kids I see walking around with an actual binky in their mouth.
I have a friend named Binky. I really do. I really do.
You know who we should bring with us next weekend is Miles.
He's the best.
B. The girl who.
Oh, B?
Yeah,
From
B.
the Get Down.
Her name's B. I would never call a young girl Bean.
Dee Dee has so many friends. One time we were skating a random spot on the street, and this dude just pulled up to the parking lot and was like, Dee Dee! And then they had like a whole like reminiscing conversation. Like, we can't go anywhere without someone running into Dee
Well,
Dee.
if you're a young
We're
guy,
probably gonna run into someone in Indianapolis. They're like, Dee Dee!
it'll be his Sweetwater rep.
Yeah.
Dee Dee, how'd you like that Velcro, bruh?
He was driving an Altima.
Just calling to follow up about that Velcro.
Do you drive a Nissan? Because I want you all to myself.
Oh,
Yes. I tweeted once because I had a really hot math teacher in high school, and
Which
I tweeted Miss Luckett. She was new, but I tweeted.
I'm too old.
I tweeted. Well, she got there the year that I got into high school, and you were gone by then. But I tweeted that the casual. My math teacher is a cute lady, and then somebody tagged her in it.
Oh, good.
And then she responded to it, and then I didn't have the confidence that
to close the deal.
deal back
should've
then.
closed the deal.
So I never mentioned it ever, and I just went through the rest of the year kind of awkwardly.
She said, "Find me on OF." It was new then.
What did she say?
She said, "I'm glad." She said something along the lines of, "I'm glad you're studying math," or "I'm glad you're
Lame.
doing math," or something.
Lame.
I don't know.
That chick's a narc.
But you just never brought it up in class in person?
No, I didn't, and she didn't either. We just kind of.
I was in love
What
with
else would you do?
pretty much all of the teachers in the business department when I was in high school.
Montgomery?
Oh my God, I loved her, but she kept having babies with some other guy,
That's bullshit.
her husband.
Her husband.
And I said, "Girl, I thought we had something going on here. Don't you feel this magic? I have a brass waterbed." That's from Purple Rain.
Have you ever been in a waterbed?
Yeah, I was conceived in a waterbed.
What?
Yes.
I heard they aren't that comfortable. Oh, here we go with Jacob's ringtone. I don't want to comb my hair. I don't want to comb.
It's need.
I don't want to need.
I don't know. Hair by Jacob V. I almost said by Jacob V Weekly. We should just merge brands. Now it's playing. This is what Apple does. Oh my God! Cut that. What were?
It's better than mine because mine just plays a bunch of sound effects.
Dee Dee,
when I was making
we
videos.
talked about this on the Subterranean boat show.
What?
That I was conceived on a waterbed.
Right?
To Slow and Easy by Whitesnake on my father's 21st birthday.
I wonder what I was conceived to.
Probably nothing.
Probably
a
Jimmy
box fan
Buffett.
in a window.
No, we're talking about the teacher. And
Oh, I took like 9 business classes in high school, and I acted like it's because I wanted the business scholarship that they gave out every year, but it was actually just because that's where my girls were at.
Who else was in the business department?
Well, senior year, they had that new girl that was really cute.
Oh, did she teach personal finance?
Yeah, your brother had her and loved her.
Yeah.
And she was brand new my senior year. I took personal finance and aced the fuck out of it. I knew so many things about checking accounts.
I feel like I've asked you this before, Jacob, but what was like your high school band? Like, the White Stripes, you said
that I was
your
into.
big.
Well,
yeah,
by high school, I was way into Prince, pretty heavy. White Stripes were more middle school. I was still very much into the White Stripes in high school, especially freshman year, but it was definitely transitioning to Prince more.
What about you, Tyler?
Mine was definitely Radiohead.
Radiohead.
Yeah.
Molly?
High school?
Yeah.
A lot of Cage the Elephant, Tame Impala. Strokes were big in the rotation.
Yeah. Keenan?
The Used.
The Used?
Oh, that's a good one. That's more middle school for me than early high school. But
The
I think
Used.
timing-wise, that would make sense.
Yeah. That lines up.
Huh. I wish I would have gone to see the White Stripes. Or I guess
You know what? The last time they were here, though, was 2005. You guys were too young.
I know, I was too young to see that.
And because I was only like 14.
when did they start?
Like the
1999.
Yeah, like,
Oh, okay.
July 7th,
they went
1999.
for like just about 10 years, right?
Did you
Yeah.
go to the pageant?
They did
It was at the
pageant.
Fox Theater. They did the pageant on the White Blood Cells tour, which was before 2005.
My aunt saw them at the pageant. She said it was
Lane
amazing.
Breeze was at that show. The White Stripes at the pageant.
I think the only concert I went to in 2005 was Green Day and My Chemical Romance.
Oh, that was a good one, though. That was a big show.
Yeah.
I think I went to Blue Maker around that time.
Oh, fuck yeah. You would go to Blue Man Group.
Because I was like too young to go to anything on my own, but my mom, like parents would start.
Do you remember Stomp?
Yeah, I don't think I ever saw it.
It was old, but Stomp
I was thinking the same thing.
people that would. Well, not live. I didn't see it, but whenever you had a sub in music class in the late '90s, they would put on Stomp, and my favorite one
I
was
just about to say.
yeah, my favorite one was the kitchen, where they were all working in a filthy kitchen, and all of their tasks were the rhythms to the performance, and it was lovely. But then they would tour; they'd all wear black turtlenecks and hit buckets and trash cans. And I don't support that.
Do you think they're still?
Make me an omelet.
Do you think they're still showing kids reading Rainbow?
The Reading Rainbow.
What is that?
Rainbow.
What's that?
That's obviously something you missed.
The guy with the LeVar. What's his face?
LeVar Ball.
LeVar Burton. It had the catchy ass Reading Rainbow theme song, and like there was some
Magic
puppets
School
or
Bus.
stuff.
You ever seen Magic School Bus?
It's
a good one.
Something, and it was
Did you guys have cable when you were a kid?
What about Stomp the Yard?
Stomp the Yard.
Yeah.
I think we had cable. I remember the dial-up. I'm old enough to remember that. One computer in the house, one landline.
And with all those siblings too, it's like, Molly, go to your room. I'm trying to goon.
Trying to.
Fuck.
Landlines were funny because it had that like.
Listen in.
It had that option to call the last person that you called.
Yeah, star 67.
Yeah, and every once in a while, I would think that I was calling the last person that I called, but somebody had called in between then, and I would call some random person and then start talking to them like they're the person that I meant to be calling, and they would just have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. One time I thought it was my dad, so I was calling my dad, and I was like, "Dad, Mom won't let me go like do something," and I guess it was my friend's dad who I was talking to, and I guess he thought that it was his son, so he was like, why won't
so
you
guys were conversing.
Yeah, so we were talking.
You thought it was your dad. He thought it was his son.
Yeah, and then I think eventually I realized this is not my dad, so I just hung up.
Sir, we got our wire. Didi, you don't have to do that. You could have explained to him what happened.
I was
just
like
hung up.
10.
Is there anything about that?
No, I was like 10, and he was a pilot. He was probably in. Yeah.
Didi, I am at 30,000 feet. I am high on cocaine, and I got one engine down. What do you need?
Man, look at all those John Deeres.
I was just talking about this last night. I think I would rather the planes fly themselves. Let me sit up there.
They kind of already, don't they do? There's not much.
Yeah, but all this... Right, but I don't even think they really need to land all the way. If you could just kind of get low to the ground, just let me out.
What are you gonna like tuck and roll?
Give me one of those big nets.
I'm sure they'll build out that infrastructure. They have all kinds of weird shit at the airport. They got moving sidewalks.
Yeah, it's like a water.
Get me a bouncy house and drop me off.
Let me barrel roll out of the side.
Yeah.
I always used to
If
think...
you're not checking a bag, they shouldn't have to stop the plane to let you out. Get your carry-on and get in the bouncy house. Welcome to Cleveland.
I always used to like play this out in my mind, like if say like a plane were to crash or I was falling off like something super high with enough time to grab onto something, and I always thought if I can just hold that to my feet until about 20 feet off the ground and then I'll jump off that, I will be fine. But I didn't really understand how gravity works back then. So I would play that through in my mind. Another thing that I used to do a lot when I was in the car is I would sit there and I would blink. So like, see these cars driving on the other side? I would blink when it right before it gets to my right before it gets, and then as soon
you're like
as
clipping
it passed again,
you're playing whack-a-mole.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
with the cars in your natural environment. I do that.
I thought that was really fun.
I don't do that as much anymore, but now I feel like I'm going to start again. Now I can't quit blinking.
I know it like was such like a fun
Dee Dee.
game.
I can't pay attention to my blinks.
You gave me the blink. I'm blinking now.
I've lost the game.
I mean, how hard could it possibly be? And the time it took Tyler to get ice, I just now got started. Tyler, that's perfect, sir. Thank you so much. Welcome to the program. How are you feeling? What about emotionally? I'm so grateful you're here. You're a child of God. And Tyler is resistant to this, but I think his mother and my mother should be on the podcast together to talk about Bret Michaels. Yeah, if we could just focus on Bad Girls Club, Bret Michaels, Israel, Palestine, Ukraine. Just the things you want to talk to your mom about. And Dee Dee's in the shower. We did a thorough bed bug inspection, and we're in the clear. And just, something that's not supposed to be on your mattress. Yeah, little specks or something. We checked around the rim of the mattress, like underneath it and whatnot. And not that this is a much nicer place than the last place. I feel much safer here in a lot of ways. However, being from St. Louis, you have a concern about, did you tell Dee Dee to meet us down here? Okay, that's what I just had to make sure. You worry about traveling as a band with a trailer, because in St. Louis, we steal them. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Tyler, have you ever heard about that? Is that girl Scrunchy?
Maybe. It might be.
Talk to Molly about stealing trailers while they fill this up with ice.
I mean, yeah, you hear about it all the time. Touring bands getting shit stolen.
That's absolutely, Tyler.
I mean, it's a shame. You drive however far and you're trying to make some money, entertain the people, get your name out there. But yeah.
We've had a couple, not us, but I have in the past, even people just going to shows have their windows smashed in and stuff.
Yeah. St. Louis is lawless.
Keenan stays up so late. I'll just put her out there with a little light and she can stitch.
Stitch? Yo, what are you stitching? Just cross stitch. Oh, okay. Yeah. I was like, stitching? Knitting?
Kind of.
Took me a second.
Oh, but the use of that word, it is distinct from... Thank you, Tyler. It is distinct from knitting. It's a different thing. Yeah, but I didn't... But that's why... Because colloquially, we would think knitting. Like you go to jury duty, you bring your knitting. Yeah, you would be whittling something. No, that's just your general vibe. You would be carving like a flute out of wood. What, do you want to knit? Would you rather knit or whittle? The whittling? Did you ever see Son-in-Law with Pauly Shore? It's like one of my favorite movies. There's one part where he comes back to the house and her grandfather's on the front porch whittling something. He has all these little wooden things he carved out of wood with a knife. And then Pauly Shore comes to join him and he picks up like a giant log that's like not what you whittle. You don't whittle from the whole log with the bark on it. Well, I think it ended up being a table. It was in the it was in that We Like This Guy After All montage in every 90s film. Yeah. It's great and it's familiar. I want to bring back on albums. I want to bring back the skits and stuff in between songs. Like a 90s R&B record would have like 90-second, like everyone's at a party. Sure. I haven't had anything but DC all day, and except for that whole bag of pea snaps. I did have a whole bag of pea snaps. I can't just eat a whole pizza every day. And so what I do is I wait all day, and I eat a whole pizza all at once. It's how I was raised. No. But just if you're going to eat pizza, you eat a whole one. That's how my father... Like, when my father first tried Weight Watchers, that was the thing. He said, did you know you can't eat a whole pizza? And he said, like, when a man sits down to eat a pizza, because that was the understanding, is that a man sits down in front of a pizza and he's going to clear it. And he's going to punch the clock like Bobby Fischer. Remember that time, Keenan, we had the shrimp for that holiday? And then my father looked at my brother and I and looked at the shrimp and said, okay, you guys ready for this? And then we all just, like, nobody got up until the shrimp were gone. I don't know why Clay has never tried to do a competitive eating thing with me, like the thing where you eat the whole pizza and you get $50 or whatever. We could totally, I mean... Get out. That's why that shit's so good. Why? Right, but then what else? Yeah, but what else would it be? But it's disturbing working in a restaurant and seeing the restaurant-sized jar of extra heavy mayonnaise. It's off-putting. I'm just saying that, yeah, they're and the mayo compared to most other. I just don't know what other restaurants would put in there other than mayo. I'm not saying that's weird. I'm saying the amount in the recipe compared to other ranches. Really? And not just a packet. It's off-putting because it's kind of like, you ever see them make the beans at Taco Bell and it's like a powder and they just pour water on it and then they heat it up and it's done? Yeah. It's my favorite item, though, on the menu, a bean burrito, no onions. I don't like the crunch because everything else is melty and gooey and gray. And if I want crunch, I want like a flaming hot Frito or something. I don't want a goddamn vegetable in my burrito at the Taco Bell. The bean burrito is the best thing for your stomach if you're hungover. I think that's how I got into it. Yeah, I work there too. Yeah, which is fine. That's what I say about McDonald's now. It's like just an air fryer with slaves. Oh, they got Razor scooters. He's scooting it up. Tyler, what are you good at Taco Bell?
don't know. I don't go there that often.
When's the last time you went to a Taco Bell, Tyler?
I don't know. It's been a long time. The Crunch Wraps are good.
What did you eat yesterday?
For dinner or?
At all. Walk me through the whole day.
I ate some oatmeal with some berries in it and a banana. And then for lunch, I had like a PBJ. And then for dinner, I started getting these like frozen, it's like pre-made meals at Schnucks. It was like a chicken fajita thing. It's like a bowl. No, it's called like health. I think it's like the brand is called Healthy Choice.
I get the black bean
Yeah,
chicken one.
yeah. It's just so easy because I hate cooking and I live.
That's the one I'm always from microwaving stuff.
Yeah, I live alone and I hate cooking, so it's just so easy to throw in there and yeah.
Actually, like, not terrible.
It's not too bad. Yeah, it's like some good protein and shit.
Yeah, the one I get is like all quinoa and
Yeah.
specific stuff. It's good for you. We're talking about healthy food.
I never cook. I like literally never cook. I know. But it's hard when you live completely alone. It's like,
I would say it's easier.
is it?
Because then I don't have to clean stuff and worry about cleaning it for the next person.
That's the fun part for me is if I'm making something that I know she's not going to eat because she's already eaten, then I can like fuck it up and it's okay. Like if I may just, I'll just add a sauce to something that doesn't have any business being on there, and you know what I mean? But it's just, one time I was watching these people's dog, and I was stoned out of my mind, and they had a box of penne, and so I made some noodles, and then I had, like, Cyberg sauce and, like, a jar of artichokes, and, like, just anything random I could find to put together, and I ate it all. And it wasn't even really a cohesive dish. It was just wet noodles with various things, which is kind of, isn't that what food is? Yeah. Eat a lot of noodles. Really? There's noodles. You like a noodle? You don't eat out much. Healthy choice. Yeah. He's probably polishing the scepter. It was 35 minutes ago. Indianapolis, Femigrind, World Tour. We're going to the Yard House. Yeah. Is that the name of the place? Yeah. Here we go. Jacob V Weekly back in Cleveland for the first time. We just played a really great show at a really cool corner bar called Dunlop's in Cleveland with two bands I really love, Flourish and Honeybee, and I love their iconography and their fonts because there's a lot of bands called Honeybee. But once you know which honeybee you're looking for, their fonts from their, other stuff makes it really easy to find them on other platforms. I'm eating a bean burrito. Into the microphone. Dee Dee is here with me. Dee Dee, how is the weekend? It is about 1 a.m.
It is 1 a.m. Wow.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be at least a little earlier.
Nope.
Yeah. What were you going to say, though?
How's this been for you?
I thought tonight was hilarious. I mean, it was literally
There was no response.
Katie
And
everybody else was sitting down just staring at us.
The drummer for Flourish told me he thought we were the most fun band he's ever seen.
Wow.
Is this a Cleveland thing?
Maybe it is just a Cleveland thing because there were a total.
I really love Cleveland. They
There were a
don't seem
total-
to like it here.
There were a total.
Because I said something on stage about some beautiful architecture I'd seen on the way in. Because there were buildings that remind me of buildings I like back home in St. Louis, where I live.
Kind of laughed at us.
But they're like, "What are you talking about? Beautiful architecture where?"
Yeah, I got another taco.
He literally said that. The guy from Honeybee said, "What you saw a building you liked where?" I said, "Well, there were definitely a couple cute houses."
Yeah, he was very negative. That's been a theme of people kind of like, oh, I hate this venue, or oh, this town sucks.
We had this in we had a very positive experience playing in Lawrence and a very positive experience playing in Indianapolis, but there were sentiments from some of the other bands of frustrations of past experiences at some of these places, and we didn't experience those things.
I had a fine time.
Especially, look at the caliber of the sound systems in these places compared to some of the random places of that size in St. Louis may have like half a sound system together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It has.
We
been
didn't have
pretty-
monitors today, but the mains were matching.
Yeah,
The mains matched. They were the same thing.
which you don't see a lot, honestly.
Okay, these are really good bean burritos. I usually get no onions, but I didn't want to put that on her at 2 a.m. or whatever time it is.
Do you think that it's funny that we were playing and everybody was sitting down?
I was kind of laughing out loud.
It didn't bother me.
Yeah.
I really didn't notice 'cause I was also running sound.
That's just like a first.
The number of
The
people was
straight-
nice.
The straight faces, though, is what killed me. It wasn't like they were like smiling or nodding their head. It was just blank, staring into your soul.
I got to a point where I was like, okay, this is funny to me. I'm gonna literally just like not care about what is going on out there. And I'm just
That's the only way I could do it.
gonna, and I'm just gonna
You know,
keep
can I be honest?
back at Miles and laughing.
I was just looking at all you guys and laughing about the situation, and then we just killed the rest
What
of
it
the set.
what it felt like to me was like a listening room.
Yeah, like a showcase.
Like how I was listening to the end of Flourish's set, standing right next to that guy, looking at his pedal board and really figuring it out. They had beautiful strums.
Yeah.
Like they're strumming things. They could, because part of the thing with a room like that that's not really treated at all is the bass is too loud. But in their case, because the bass is validating the tonic of the chord change so hard that they can have these really brushy ambient things with their like shredding it, but they have tons of things going on. He had one of those mood loopers. So when he wanted to tune his guitar, he would, it's like a pink Chase Bliss thing. He'd step on it and it makes like this weird modulated loop out of like your last note, and so he can go tune, and he's got a nice drone happening.
Oh, that is something we should.
And they've
invest
definitely
in.
been on the road because they had like modular side panels for their pedal boards and shit, like so that they can run as few cables as possible out in and out of their pedal boards. They have little patch bays on them, so everything goes into one place, and it's, you know, I don't know, it was pretty efficient. It was very clean.
Yeah.
Sounded great.
All the bands were awesome.
Really,
in
and
it.
Honeybee has just this beautiful thing they do with volume, where they just really send it for the volume, and it creates. This is what I used to tell my children at my summer camps at School of Rock: is what happens is sound moves through the air, and when you're moving sound through the air together, you're creating an orb. Me and Alex used to talk about this with the children.
Yeah.
In the middle of the room, excellent catch.
Excellent
where
throw.
as you're projecting your sound and your energy towards the orb is being fed by your energy. And if we do it in synchronicity, the orb undulates perfectly. Yeah. However, if you start to act like a horse's ass and you start to just slam on a riff that's not a part of the orb that's being contributed to by everyone else, then the orb suffers and it has a diseased spot.
Yes.
So you don't want to be the diseased spot. Well, like I was saying about Honeybee is really great about creating a massive undulating orb of sound. And I really felt
No, they sounded
undulating.
huge. They sounded huge.
Sounded way big. Way
Was that-
big.
Wait, what's What's that pedal that's like way huge or something?
Way huge is the whole company.
Way huge? Yeah, no. Honeybee sounded way huge. Floral or floral. Flourish. Fuck. Flourish. Fucking I fucking love them. I want them to come to St. Louis. Yeah.
I call them like big mistake with Tyler.
That's okay. Fuck it.
Hey, you got taco cheese all over my suite.
Hey, fuck that taco cheese, son. Bloop. No, but this is me. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be now. Let the shine on me. Now I know who I am.
You know what I felt?
Exactly who I am.
Wow. You know how I felt about listening to Floors? They're so Ohio. They sound like just like massive guitars and then the really understated vocals. You know what I mean? The really understated like
Yeah, Honeybee was kind of the same way.
and I'm really into it.
Yeah, we are on the vibe of the city because they were both very.
But that's also but that's also the thing that I noticed about even how they talk to me. It was like, because again, the drummer came up to me, but with a very straight face and not necessarily even smiling, said, "You guys are like the most fun band I've ever seen. You guys are the funnest band I've ever seen in my entire life."
Well, the guitarist in one of the guitarists in Flourish did that. The blonde one. He walked by me and like tapped me. He's like, "Really great set."
Really great set.
For a second and then walked away before I could say anything.
There's something about that. Sound off in the comments. Is this an
Ohio's
Ohio
a little-
thing?
I think Cleveland is a little haunted.
The
My
sun was
sister-
out when I went to sleep in the car, and then it was overcast when I woke up in Ohio.
My sister lives in Cleveland now. My younger sister. She was in what's another city in Ohio?
Akron,
No.
Cincinnati.
She was in Cincinnati with her boyfriend.
It's on the other side of the state.
But
Kid Cudi is from Cleveland.
so she lives in Cleveland now.
My
and,
wife loves Kid Cudi.
Her ceiling of her apartment just fell through
Good.
and into her bedroom. And the good news though is that there was no asbestos. They tested it. But her ceiling did fall through.
Well,
I actually don't know if she was there when it happened, but she sent a picture and it looked like basically just a bunch of drywall and insulation in the middle of her bedroom.
That would suck.
So that
Bed and everything.
you must have shown
Yeah.
me a picture of that. That sounds
Yeah.
so familiar.
but yeah, Cleveland
No, I meant
been,
about.
I've never been here before, but it's an interesting place.
Why did you just?
I didn't want it on the table.
Yeah, now it's just worse.
Listen, let's not fight.
Listen, we got face to ace tattoos today and fembot tattoos.
I think the
today.
tattoos were the best thing. I think Indianapolis, the vibes of the environment and its effect on us were worse. But here in Cleveland, the vibe, everyone else seems to just not love being alive, but we're feeling so much better. And I think it's because everyone got tattoos and that positive adrenaline.
That's hard.
That's hard, bruh.
That's hard.
That's my favorite thing. Shout out to, what was her name?
Keenan. No, not Keenan. Tegan.
Tegan. At some tattoo parlor in
Tegan.
Indianapolis.
Tegan. Did you know Tegan, who used to work at Guitar Center?
Yeah.
She was hot,
Well,
but she was gay.
yeah.
So she was like, I would have never stood a chance anyways.
I don't know. I mean, you do have some like feminine energies.
Oh,
Which one?
sexy. Oh, dude. Guitar Center
She's
manager.
probably old now.
So hot.
She may not even be gay
So
anymore.
hot. So hot.
No, this is long ago.
She kind of had fucked up teeth though, which sometimes I'm like kind of into that.
Yeah, like Jewel.
Yeah, like
I
I'm
love
kind of into the
Jewel.
fucked up teeth sometimes.
Or like, you know, just like she looks like she chewed her way out of something. Like when she looks like when she's got like a gnarled smile.
Okay, wait. Here's my question though. So you know how Jessica Simpson does the whole Jewel thing? Like the,
Oh yeah, that was just one time that happened.
Okay, so that wasn't like because my thought when I saw that
You
video,
would think it was like an SNL skit.
yeah.
Yeah.
My thought when I saw that was like, okay, either she's a big bitch and she's like making fun of Jewel, or
not that
she's like
smart.
trying to like fit.
She's
in.
trying to emulate the style, I think, and
That was horrible.
yeah, you know, which was a thing that has that. Yeah, there was a thing like that has a similar.
What did she become famous for?
Well, she started off as a singer. She was a Christian singer because her father was a pastor. Yeah. But she, right. But she had. It was the footage is crazy because it's like her in like the late '90s, and she's got her big old chi-chis, but she's wearing like a sweater, like a turtleneck sweater, singing gospel. You know what I mean? For her dad was like her manager, I think, and then she crossed over and she did some pop stuff. But she was always planning on being the kind of triple threat, like Mandy Moore. Britney was trying to act for a little bit thing, like, you know, where you do kind of each.
Britney and Austin Powers with the low cut jeans. That was a Fembots movie.
But
Yeah.
who?
Britney Spears.
In what movie?
Yeah, because she was
Oh.
doing the dance, and then it turned out that she was
Yeah.
a fembot.
Right, and was it?
But Jesus Christ, dude. The low cut jeans on young Britney.
It was 3. Thank you, Keenan. Keenan knows that whole genre of movies. Did I tell you about when I first moved in with Keenan?
No.
We're unpacking the office where we're going to store things like our collection of DVDs. And I found the entire American Pie film collection in a box set. American Pie 2, American Pie Wedding.
How many are there now?
There's like 6 of them. And they
That's
come in a box
fucked.
set. It's too many. It's too many of them.
I think I saw maybe the first 2. I know I've seen the first one.
So that's just what
I
you
don't
you
think
know.
I've seen any of them.
Yeah, there's one called Bandcamp. And then tomorrow we're going to be in the car for 9 hours together. Yeah. I'm so.
The fact of thinking of
I think if you guys all.
having a day
Yeah.
in between, and then we're gonna do this again, but I kind of also love it.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's like super exciting, but like also I want to
'Cause-
die
Yeah.
because I'm so exhausted. But
No, it's if we didn't have work all week, we'd be fine.
yeah, if this was all we were doing.
For 4 days. Yeah.
Well, that's what I did next
Yeah.
week. I knew I was gonna be
I think-
tired,
yeah.
so I took off the following Monday.
I think the best idea is if.
Oh, I'm so happy I did that now.
Yeah, I think you guys all go part-time at your day jobs and you all come live with me.
Are you gonna pay my health
I'm thinking about, how old are you? Oh, fuck. Will you just join the army or get married?
Okay, well, here's the thing, man. Honestly, how do we start doing tours where it's like not tonight?
Like where it's bigger.
Yeah.
One of the scammy emails that we get that are pretending to be one of those companies that help you do PR and set up gigs and stuff. If we actually find one that's not a scam, because that is a thing. You could like maybe hire some whatever company for if we want to.
Because I think that we are good enough if we are able to not have to worry about our sound for the first 4 songs
Yeah.
to actually like open for some like dope artists.
Well, in any place like that, like, you know, if we play at a place with somebody bigger than us, there would be a dedicated, like, for example, sound person.
Yeah.
Maybe even a green room space. She loves a green room.
Yeah, but
I can't believe you got all this taco cheese on my floor.
I think that we are good enough to at least like go around with somebody who's yeah, that's ace to the face right there.
Are we ace? I'm sorry. I lost 70 pounds. My clothes are all too big.
I think that we are good enough at least to be able to tour with somebody who's doing it, like somebody who's like actually doing it. I don't think that we're to the point, like, obviously, like, to where we could just go off on our own. But I think that we are at a solid point to where if somebody who is, like an apprenticeship.
Yeah,
in a
like
way.
to learn from the master of the ways of the road.
Like, teach us your ways and bring us along with you.
When I saw Amel and the Sniffers, they were touring with the same band for most of it, and they were out of Austin, called D Spitz, the crazy all-female, like, punk hardcore group.
Yeah.
And I looked at their stats, and they were decent, but they weren't, like, crazy much higher than us.
Yeah.
And they just did a fucking audio tree last week and
Really?
are blowing the fuck up. So, like, getting on that opening lineup of some kind of semi-big touring act is
How do we do that?
all it takes, man.
How do you do that?
Jacob?
How do you get? Oh, dude, that fucking band that we're opening for at the Sinkhole.
They're crazy.
I'm
so excited.
Dope.
That is Bikini Kill reimagined.
That's a band that we could like try and like somewhat like learn from and maybe like
Pick their brain
piggyback
up.
off their experiences and like fucking bounce off of.
Hopefully we vibe and then we can set some stuff up.
Because they're
together.
fucking sick, dude. Like,
I
understand why why. I guess somehow they knew about us and asked about us, and then I was listening to their shit and I was like it's not like how we sound, but I was like it's like very like adjacent to like us.
The closest I think sounding band to us.
Yeah.
Vibe at least.
Yeah.
You know?
Like the way that like the guitars were written, I'm like this is like how like Molly writes. It was like very much. Like
I'm excited.
I understand how like we could work together.
It was the Sunday night gig,
For a show.
and that was the one where I was like, well, I don't know, and then I looked them up, and I was like, I changed my fucking mind. Let's do it immediately. Like, 2 seconds into one of their songs.
We gotta try and make that a good one.
May or June, right?
Yeah, we gotta try and find out a way to get people to that. One thing I was thinking is like. Okay, so like one thing to do to get people to a show on a Sunday, for example, is to make like a party out of it. Like St. Patrick's Day is on a Sunday this year.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna fucking go out because it's St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
So like how do you create some type of event that people are like, okay, I know I have work tomorrow, but it's worth it to go get fucking hammered tomorrow and hang out with everybody.
I'll give something away for free if we come up with something. Sound off in the comments. Yeah. I'm thinking.
I kind of forgot we were on a pod.
Yeah. No, this is good. This is all good stuff. We're gonna be the van for a long time tomorrow, so we'll spit bubble, and
What?
we'll spit bubble.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna probably go back to the room though.
Yeah. No, we're good. This is just. It's been such a blessing.
I'm gonna go face to Ace, Miles, and Katie. Mainly Miles, obviously, and and kind of
She'll
Katie
leave.
out of the bed.
That was an episode of Friends where Ross and his girlfriend have a threesome with a lady, but they kind of don't pay any attention to him, so he leaves to go make a sandwich. Maybe that was Joey.
Sounds more like a joke.
That sounds more like Joey.
Yeah.
Sound off in the comments.
All right. Love you guys. Bye.
Ohio.
Oh, perfect. I'll see you guys in the morning.
Yeah, let's just try to at least be up by
Oh, yeah.
8 or 9.
I'm straight.
But when I was in the room,
I wrestled him for 45 minutes to a draw. Back in the van, Jacob V. Weekly, my God. At one point, we thought yet again that we were belly up and that we were boned and that nothing good could ever happen in the universe. And it turns out, a little bit of math, a 30-day view, everything is still great. Everything is going to be great. I am so grateful. And I feel, it's been an honor and a privilege. And Wisconsin next weekend, baby. The beautiful milk state.
Cheese.
It's the milk state.
That was the cheese state.
Don't be shy on that fucking microphone. God damn it, Tyler.
It's been a long
Why are you talking
weekend.
over everybody? Because I'm on my mic. I'd like to donkey lip it. Good God. I noticed immediately when we left Ohio to get back into Indiana on our way home that Indiana is a lot bumpier.
Yeah, there's a few sections of this highway that are kind of fucked.
And
there's sections of this highway that are fucked.
Yeah, for sure. And we're in a Honda Odyssey. We were in a journey this morning. We almost thought, we didn't know what we thought. But
we almost ran out of gas.
We almost ran out of gas.
But Jacob's grandfather's spirit.
My great-grandfather.
Great-grandfather's
Here's what
spirit.
happened. We realized that the gas light is on. And we're at a point in Ohio where there's just not a gas station on every exit. So we're doing math. This one's 8 miles. This one's 6 miles. Tyler says, my car will tell us how long it has until it runs out of gas.
And
by the time
0.
we figured that out, it was already 0.
It says 0 miles
0
left.
miles to empty. And so we rode that for about 12 miles.
Yeah.
And just as we find the nearest gas station, we're pulling in, and on the hill, on the horizon, is a beautiful Bob Evans.
Robert Evans.
And that is a sign from the universe. My great-grandfather, Sylvester, who was a crane operator on the completion crew of the Gateway Arch, also loved Bob Evans.
His spirit guided us
and
to that station.
His love and wisdom from beyond chauffeured us to that Shell station so that we didn't have to fight on the side of the road about whose fault it is that we were out of gas, because we never actually ran out of gas. Tyler?
Yes. We did not run out of gas. We almost did. We were debating on who was going to walk to the station and grab the jerry can.
Now here we are having a problem on the content angle of this part of the story, because I immediately went into the bathroom and stood next to Diddy at the urinal, different urinal, but it was next to his. And I sat into my phone for Dali from ChatGPT to make me an image of a beautiful Honda Odyssey pulling a little U-Haul trailer being pushed along by the spirit of an old man.
It's a very crusty...
But Sylvester was trimmed up. I never knew him to have a beard. He always had a pretty short hair.
AI made him look very crusty.
He looked like Father Time, and then it got scarier.
He kind of looked like...
In one of them, the trailer was in front of the Honda Odyssey.
Yeah, the trailer was pulling the Odyssey.
It looked like he was pushing the trailer, and the Honda Odyssey was pushing it with him. Like they were pushing it up.
The AI made his great-grandfather's spirit look like a Dementor
that he knew
from
how to
Harry
properly
Potter.
secure a trailer.
Well, that's really why you got to make sure to put gas in the trailer.
Yeah, always gas up your trailers.
If my great-grandfather Sylvester knew that we did this whole trip with no gas in the trailer, he would absolutely be mortified, and I would be ashamed. Some cultures' shame on your family like that is what's the word? Unforgivable.
What did Sylvester do for a living?
Well,
you'd say he was a crane operator.
He was a crane operator, heavy machine equipment. I mostly knew him to be retired.
What were his dreams?
Do you think he would be proud of what we're doing?
I don't think he'd like some of the merch. If I'm being straight up, blue collar, Spanish Lake. I think he might have been a fan of the cloth.
Do you think, like, if he saw a live show, do you think he would like it, or do you think he'd?
Well,
just,
I'm sure he would like live.
I'm
I'm sure he liked live music.
Or do you
that
think he would
generation
stare
had
at us like
had
the
an
people in
appetite for
Cleveland?
live music. It depends on what age we brought him in. You know what I mean?
If we brought a young 25-year-old,
he'd probably beat the
Sylvester.
shit out of us.
Was he a burly man?
No, not necessarily burly and not nearly as big. The size comes from my grandmother's side of the family. All the men in my family being so big. He wasn't necessarily big, but firm. I wouldn't want him to jab me. If he got mad at me and gave me a good stiff jab, I could feel the tissue damage now just speaking about it.
Do you think
Whoa.
Do you think he would have enjoyed a DC?
He probably would have thought DCs were gay. He probably would have liked a good stiff classic Coca-Cola.
Yeah, with the
He
real
liked
sugar.
unfiltered cigarettes. He liked unfiltered Camel cigarettes.
Oh,
That's some real great grandpa.
that's some man shit.
And so I just want you to picture him with a tiny little cigarette hanging out of his mouth because there's no filter on
Operating a crane.
it. With his crane from beyond, shuttling us to that Shell station. I mean, he saved the day. It could have been any restaurant up there. If it was the spirit of my grandparents, it would have been a fried chicken joint.
If we had more time, we probably would have went to that Bob Evans just for his spirit.
But Bob Evans, I know we should have poured some hash browns on the curb for him or something.
Yeah.
But just to amplify his voice and his memory and in gratitude for his swift guidance today, we needed it, Lord. Molly, how are you today?
Oh, I'm just fine.
Talk to Tyler.
Tyler, what's going on with you? How are you feeling after this? I don't know what you guys are talking about, so I might be changing the subject.
No, we can do a hard change.
A hard change? Cool.
Before that last one out.
I'm not as exhausted as I thought I'd be.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good right now, and I think us kind of chilling last night was a big game changer. I probably want to do that going forward.
I just really wish we could keep doing this and not have to go back to our job.
Yeah, that is. The more we do this, the more I just want to keep doing this.
I feel like I genuinely want to just go to another show right now instead
Which is
of
great because that's what you want, right? When you hit the
Yeah.
road, you don't want to do it and then be like, oh my god, fuck this, I hate this, why am I doing this? Like, that's just even more more of a sign that you're on the right path and we're doing the right thing right now. So
it's kind of inspiring doing this, even though it's very challenging.
and we didn't actually go completely in the red for our
Yeah.
first tour, which is unheard of. This is awesome. I'm feeling really fucking positive.
Well, I just want to repeat the generosity and the warm welcome we've received from all of these bands in person. I think people have hesitations in a group chat on Instagram before a gig about how much should it be, what time should it start, who should play when, or whatever. But once we've all gotten there, everyone has been really supportive. We have sold a handful of shirts in every city.
Yes.
That means that, and not just that we made that money on that merch that we've made, but that those shirts are living in those communities now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
someone's going to ask somebody, where did you get that ridiculous shirt? One lady caught the very end of our set and fell in love with the Gay Jesus shirt.
Yeah.
And she asked where it came from, and I started to tell her. It came to me in a vision, and she said, it is a vision. And she wouldn't quit. She said, it is a vision. She loved it. She was hammered drunk.
Someone in Indianapolis put the Gay Jesus shirt on as soon as they bought it.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the BDSM crowd in Indianapolis fucks with us.
Yeah, and then Lawrence, Kansas, we moved some shirts too. Not as many as I would have liked in Lawrence, because but maybe it makes them nervous. It's really nice to learn about what people respond to in different places.
We sold the most in Lawrence, didn't we?
Shirt wise,
I think so.
But maybe that's because it was our first road
sure.
gig. I was like, we only sold 5 shirts. You know what I mean? Oh,
yeah. We went into this saying if we could just sell one shirt at each of these states, we'll be happy, and we've done more than that.
Yeah, that's a good point, Tyler. I've also recorded all of the live sets. Those will be on my Patreon probably if I can make them sound decent.
And shout out to Honeybees and Flourish for giving us the rest of the cut.
Oh, yeah, and then the other bands were very generous about how we
generous.
negotiated terms last evening. And the lovely Dunlaps, I would absolutely go back there. We just got to figure something else to do while we're all the way out here because it's so far out. I mean,
I really liked it. It was my favorite. Well, I don't know. Melody Inn was really fucking
Melody
cool.
Inn was very
but
cute.
But it's so cramped.
That was the Replay Lounge.
Yeah, they were all cool. Yeah, Replay was sick. I really liked Dunlaps, but it was just the lowest energy out of the crowds.
Yeah, and we talked about this last night on the pod a little bit.
They're
I
just
think,
staring at us.
Yeah, I think that's like part of the thing. I think they're something about Ohio makes them, very muted with their emotions. And surprised, like if you're happy, they're surprised.
Yeah. And
we were enjoying
Yeah.
ourselves. You know what I mean?
I feel like I was scaring them.
Did we scare them?
No, I think I scared them.
They didn't want to get too close to you.
Yeah.
They said, that man gonna get hurt. Let me back up. This is Cleveland, Ohio, sir.
Yeah, my body is feeling better than I thought it would after playing 2 shows back
I thought
to
you were going
back.
to say, my body is a wonderland.
It's all right. It's an okay body.
My body. Cut that. We can't be associated with Robert Kelly.
Cut that.
Cut that.
Take
Cut
that. Take that. Take that. Oh wait, no, cut that. Yeah, no P Diddy.
Right, we
reference
can't
either.
do P. Diddy either. I mean, we can't. We just have to make our own music and not talk about other people's music because most other people are criminals.
Yeah.
You can't trust anybody. Except for Flourish and Honeybee and
They were
Wida
so good.
and Wyla and
yeah.
Dose Rose.
So
And don't tell me there was one more. City Hall.
City
I
Hall,
recorded
yeah.
some of their set back in Lawrence. They're really good. They have a single coming out, I think, next week, if not this weekend.
Yeah.
That's
Because they only have that one.
they only have one
yeah.
single out right now, and I love them, and I'm
So
excited.
so far out of all the
about
bands,
that. You guys can give me some input on this. I always feel weird, like on stage, like I don't want to overdo the plugs, and I certainly didn't want to tell anybody last night to just buy our merch. So I did several general merch plugs, and I feel like that was the right thing to do
oh, you handled the banter very well.
because in my spirit, that's what feels right. But my impulse is, well, they need to know about everything in massive detail.
We need to get back. The banter is good, but we need to get back into the smooth transitions as well because there was a lot of.
Yeah, we also all need to always have all of the set lists.
Yeah, but I feel like smooth transitions are important, yes, but I feel like what Jacob does is a good mediator.
Right, but in between every song, he does that because we're not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly to fill that, to buy us some time. But I liked the pace of last night. I didn't feel like anybody was in a rush.
Yeah.
When they cut the lights.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of like, okay, why aren't you not ready? Go ahead. Do the thing. Yeah.
It felt for some reason like the most cramped space we've played yet. I don't know why though.
It's because you kept bumping into my keyboard because you had
I
a hard
did.
barrier. You couldn't knock my keyboard off the
Well,
stand.
'cause
You bumped into the
yeah,
jagged
because
edge.
I didn't want to just like step a whole foot forward and just be like, look at me, look at me.
You
I
should've.
know, but like I don't want to be the look at me
Yeah,
guy.
I had to be where I was because I had to run sound.
I'm just like,
We could have all moved up a little bit.
yeah.
Sorry, no one was standing.
And I wanted to do like a whole like bring it in, but they were just sitting. So yeah.
If they were standing back far,
Then you could
maybe
bring
that
it
would
in.
be, but like,
Or you could take your wireless out there and corral them forward like
So,
sheep.
Yeah, I think we need a new.
Some corralling.
I think I need a new cable for that wireless because it like started cutting out on me immediately. I was just like,
might be loose as well since you've been dropping it.
yeah, I dropped it real bad at Blueberry Hill.
Great.
Shout out to London for picking up my batteries and putting them back.
London. He'll be on the road with us next
He
weekend,
will be
maybe.
joining us next weekend.
London Tyler Lowe of Harmon Dobson.
Shout out Harmon.
And he's got that stoic thing going on.
He is a little stoic.
He's a little
yeah.
mysterious. Like, you don't really know what his motives are in just his general life. Like, he seems to really
I mean,
like...
he has good motives.
No, I know, but I just don't know what they are. You know what I mean? Oh, I don't mean they're nefarious. I mean, I don't know what he does want. You know what I mean? Or like I'm pictured like we hang out for the first time. Let's say I'm a little drunk. He's like, just come sleep at my place because it's right across the street and you don't want to drive home because you're drunk. And he's like, hey, do you want to see my collection? And I'm like, of what? And he opens the door to a collection that he's never told us about. But what is it? What is the collection of? I don't know.
Yeah, probably
Pedals mostly?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's not
He was
so bad.
rearranging his pedal board. We were hanging out on
Pedals
Monday.
is good.
He got a whammy just like Dee Dee. And he said that he texted you about it, asking some questions, and
Molly
you
has a
never
whammy.
responded.
Molly has a whammy.
Respond.
It probably took you a day.
He asked me if I had a whammy bar, and I said yeah, and I think that was it.
I think he said he asked a few more details.
Oh, whammy bar?
Oh.
Does he not use one?
Well,
No, I'm just giving you shit. And we were going through the old archives of old high school songs,
What?
me in London. And yeah, we were picking some songs that we would like to do. We wrote a lot of shit in high school.
You and him?
Yeah, me in London.
You know him from then?
Yeah, I met him when I was a freshman, and
So what are his life goals? I don't even know what he does.
I think he's just trying to, now that he's finally got a band going, I think he wants what we want. He
Yeah.
wants to fucking do this shit.
What's he do all day?
Like for work or
Yeah.
or on a day
Just
off?
vaguely.
He just hangs out, probably fucking listens to music, plays games and shit.
But like, in what kind of? Is he a security guard? Is he a goddamn
he
hockey coach?
he works for a fucking parts department.
That's
for-
right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. He told me that. Okay, I can place it now. Yes. So shout out to Ham London. It's never too late to stop by patreon.com/JacobV.
It's never too late to revive your old high school band.
It's never too late to, that whole thing. What are you guys excited about Milwaukee and Madison?
Well, shout out to my brother and his boyfriend making the trip. Yeah, I'm excited to see him. So
Oh, he's gonna be there.
yeah, Milwaukee
sick.
for sure, and then we might have some friends
We got
at Madison.
Jenny coming through to
yeah,
Madison,
Milwaukee
or
Madison.
one of those two. Yeah,
Yeah, if she's in Chicago, I think Milwaukee's closer, and that's why my brother's going.
I'm
that
excited for. I'm really excited to hear that S Jod.
SJOD.
Yeah, he's got a really cool style, and if he can actually get us that Chicago connect, that would be amazing.
one. Yeah, and
I don't know how long we ended up spending on that. I don't know why Chicago was so hard to book.
So there was a
every single fucking venue, and nobody
Just no
hardly
traffic,
got back.
no return calls.
Yeah, pretty much. Chicago's hard.
So there was a point in the trip driving into Ohio where everyone was asleep and Jacob was on the Bluetooth, but he fell asleep, and it just played S-Jod for like an hour. And I was digging it. I was really digging it, but I was just like, there's only so much EDM a guy can take. I needed a genre switch up, and I couldn't figure out how to disconnect him. So I just kind of got my phone and kept trying to connect, and then after like a dozen tries, it finally booted Jacob off. And then I started singing my heart out to some Dance Gavin Dance.
that's why we're here. That's why we do what we do.
Dee Dee,
Yeah.
how do you feel about the Honda Odyssey as a driving experience?
I like it. It's comfortable. It's it's doing the job.
It is comfortable. Do you feel like you're struggling with the trailer?
Do you like driving it?
No. Yes, I do like driving. I do like driving it. No, the trailer, it's like it's not even there.
Yeah, and so
It's only an issue if you have to back it up.
Yeah.
really good.
But here's what I am enjoying even more than just driving. Look at the fucking sky right now.
I know,
The clouds are looking cool.
It is
like the
beautiful.
sweet milks of Wisconsin.
Yeah, you only gotta like worry about the trailer when you're like turning and shit.
Yeah. Yep, but we got a beautiful, beautiful sky right now. And I'm enjoying that.
Great.
The chains on the trailer are like 5 times longer than they need to be, which is kind of funny. Like the dude
They don't know how long your shit's gonna be.
Yeah, but you don't need the chains that long. The chains are just there to where if it disconnects, you got that like second thing holding on to it. But like they don't need to be that. They're just like excessively long. Like the dude from U-Haul like double wrapped it and hooked it to the chains themselves, and then like spun them, and they were still dragging. They dragged the whole way to Indianapolis, scraping, and we got a zip tie and zipped it up. But which, by the way, we're gonna have to cut those zip ties. Yeah. Do we have anything? Do we have a knife of any sort?
We're going to my house before we go to the U-Haul.
Oh yeah, we'll be at your place, so we
Yeah,
could probably
so
find a knife.
We probably have some skizzers or a knife or both, maybe.
Shout out zip ties.
Shout out to Zip Ties.
I need my tools, my duct tape, and zip ties.
There's something amazing about not like actually not having anything else that you could do. It's like if you call off work or something, and it's like all your plans for that day, like you have literally no plans
Because you're supposed to be at work.
Just actually like relax and like fucking just stare off, or there's something just fucking I don't know, makes my brain go a little bit different directions, I guess.
Yeah.
Downtime.
I feel like I always write the best when like I literally, or like if I'm sick, like if there is no option to go do anything else. And that's how I feel right now looking at the sky.
Downtime is important.
Yeah, you can't scroll past all those big booty Latinas on Instagram when you're looking at the sky driving a Honda Odyssey.
Yeah.
Dee Dee's Instagram is all booties.
Yeah. Every time he opens up his Instagram,
It's not his
he's
fault.
like,
The algorithm caught his number early on and they can't get him out of it.
every time he opens up his Instagram, he's like, damn.
Look at one ass.
You double-click one ass one time, and now all you get is ass.
Dee Dee got a tattoo of a fat booty
Mm-hmm.
on his leg.
I'd say succulent.
Succulent baby.
It's a,
How are the tattoos holding up? Everybody okay?
mine's looking all right. Yeah, it's
Oh, it
looking good.
looks so good.
It's like
And as an apprentice too, I thought it might take a little longer.
might be the most fine line tat I have. I have this razor blade on me that's pretty fine.
You thought it was going to be
She didn't
hard?
use a single needle either. That's what's crazy.
What do you mean?
Like the thickness, for lines this thin, they usually might just use one needle, but she was using one that had five in it.
Yeah.
I have this razor blade tatted on me that I got from a punk show. It was like a basement show. And this artist was there giving out like $20 flashes. And I was like, fuck it.
There was a party in high school where people were giving out like basement tats, and but they didn't. I don't think that they switched the needle over, and like every single person got like an infection, and it was bad.
Mine did not get infected. She like for the most part like was as sanitary as you could be in a basement show. I was a little worried. I was like, this might get infected, but it
You
didn't.
should bring that girl out to Milwaukee, see if she wants to do tats on
She
stage.
was wild. Like she had the craziest hair and was like tattooed like all over, and she was going hard in the pit. I remember like she was moshing like crazy. And yeah, in between sets, she gave me a tap.
Wow. Lower back pain brought to you by No Antics.
Yes.
Sitting in a Honda Odyssey, there's no way to prevent your back hurting.
Yeah. It's comfy.
And if your back hurts, sometimes you got to lean forward. Sometimes you got to like stand up a little bit. It ain't easy. We're listening to Dee Dee's lower back right now.
Putting the mic up to his lower
Hold
back.
your mic up to his lower back. We'll see what we get.
Ow!
Oh, and that's Jess's lower back.
That was
talking.
his lower back.
My God. And I don't know. I don't know what it all means. Katie will be in Japan next week.
Yeah. Shout out Katie.
So Miles will probably be in the van with us.
Schmowless. Yeah, shout out to Katie. She came through and took some pictures, which is
Vibed really hard to the set.
yeah,
which
it
we needed all the help we could get.
yeah, she was really dancing at Melody Inn last night. It was nice to
No,
see
last
that.
night was Dunlap's. Melody Inn was 2 nights ago.
2 nights ago, yeah.
And I just, I'm so excited. Don't eat any dairy this week because we're going to fill up next weekend. Madison,
But
Milwaukee.
it's nice to get pictures on tour because we have
to document the whole thing. We're
evidence-
just going the whole time. Like,
we have
don't-
evidence that it
you got to
happened.
have something documented.
Because we didn't get any pictures in Lawrence. We got 2 videos?
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
video and audio of all of the sets.
yeah, besides your recording.
And then I got B-roll. Didn't do as much walking in Cleveland, but we're hearing from everybody pretty much that that's a good idea.
Yeah, Dunlap's was just in the middle of a neighborhood.
Yeah, which is my favorite kind of traditional corner bar. And I was telling Tyler this last night outside the venue that I love that it's obviously a retro corner bar, but
Yeah.
it's not just as old as it is. They've cleaned it up and
definitely
updated
renovated
it
it.
periodically, but to keep it original to the original design, but not 1,000 years old looking, which
Yeah.
is lovely.
Unlike El Linador.
Right, sure. Shout out to El Linador.
Shout out El
The
Linador.
quesadilla at El Linador, forget about it.
The mural, the sky mural is so 70s.
Yeah. And I don't know, maybe we'll do something else there because I do love the food.
I would love to pack that place for real.
If we could fill it with motherfuckers, dude.
Fill it with a bunch of Samuel L. Jacksons.
Get 9 Samuel L. Jacksons in there.
The only issue, if we actually packed it, I'd be a little worried about those chandeliers.
Why?
I mean, they're kind of low. They kind of sit low.
Well, people need to watch their heads and quit slam dancing. That's the problem with kids these days. They're all out here slam dancing. It's watch where you're going.
I did my usual star power move. You know how on guitar, where you lift I lifted my guitar up as high as I could, and I was very mindful of the disco ball at Dunlap's last night.
Thank God. If you're taking out the disco ball,
Yeah. There goes our venue pay.
there goes
My venue pay. Smashing disco balls.
Smashing disco balls.
And yeah. Shout out to the pinball machine in Lawrence.
It survived.
It held me up very
I love
nicely.
The collection of pinball machines. There was pinball last night. No, 2 nights ago at Dunlap's in the back. That one room had pinball. Pinball is very popular.
Oh yeah, shout out to Dunlap's for having a popcorn machine. That was pretty cool.
Popcorn. People love corn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like that's a very good thing to have at a
That's a
venue.
great idea. There was a bar
It's a light snack.
my friend went to one time that had free hot dogs all the time,
Ooh.
which is also a good idea.
No Antics loves hot dogs.
No Antics loves any.
Don't take Miles there.
Yeah. Don't take Miles to the free hot dog place. We'll get kicked out before we even start.
They
drinking.
will end up in the toilet.
Like, you guys, I just filled this roller. You guys cleared 30 dogs. The doors aren't even open.
I work with a guy who literally last week he was talking about. We were talking about hot dogs for some reason, and he said, "Well, hot dogs are healthy," and I said, "You think hot dogs are healthy?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's just meat." And I was like, "Look up if hot dogs are healthy." And then he looked it up, and I'm like, "You're probably a 32, 33-year-old man, and your entire life, you've been downing hot dogs.
You've been just
because you think they're healthy."
throating glizzies because it's a superfood.
Yeah.
Let me get a pomegranate and an avocado and 9 glizzies.
That's some blue collar shit right there. Well,
It's-
hot dogs are healthy.
Because
It's
that's
just
the
meat,
thing
boy.
that, like, whenever people are like, don't eat hot dogs, and they're real grossed out about hot dogs, is because I think people want you to think it's just pure, delicious beef that's just shaped like that.
But no, it's
But
processed
it's-
as fuck.
Right. It's emulsified, meaning the molecules of the fat and the tissue are like exploded and blended together and made into a goo that is then cased and boiled or steamed.
We're steamed.
We need to start taking the hot dog machine to No Antics.
You have a hot dog machine?
Yeah.
You never told us this?
Well, when I used to drink, we would have these parties, and I have an old school hot dog roller machine that was on the Admiral gambling boat in the Mississippi, and so we would get hot dogs going. It'll hold like 20 of them at a time, and then as you're getting too drunk, you go have a hot dog. We'd have a bar of mustards and chutney, and
And the bun steamer.
And then on top of the hot
Ooh.
dog machine is a little bun steamer.
Imagine like at our merch booth, we got the hot dog roller.
That's the thing. I mean, if we just had hot dogs to make for us and we could sell them for whatever cost would be,
Or
like
just
$2
like
or
if
something.
you buy a T-shirt, you get a complimentary hot dog.
Buy a t-shirt, get a free hoodie.
That'd be fucking awesome.
We should sell Provel cheese.
Provel.
Anybody get me a bunch of free Provel cheese? I'm going to take it to Milwaukee and
It
sell
was
it.
funny when
You
Jacob
guys don't know cheese. This is cheese.
when Jacob asked if anyone's been to St. Louis last night, people just raised their hands like they were in school.
Yeah, we're working on a segment before Fembots where I try to explain to them that in St. Louis we have this thing called a trolley that is a curse. And
A broken
that
trolley.
outside of my favorite venue in St. Louis, where I would often get kicked out for drinking City Wides and Deep Eddy grapefruit, I would try to sleep on the trolley platform. And that was a partial inspiration for the song Fembots.
My favorite part of that story, it's not that you were kicked out after drinking a whole bunch, it was that you showed up to the bar drunk, so drunk, that they kicked you out before you were able to buy one drink.
Yeah, I got kicked out for being too drunk at a bar that I had no drinks at.
So were you there for any of those trolley
No,
stories?
she picked me
I
up
had to pick him up off the trolley.
because I would get drunk and take an Uber somewhere, but then Uber would quit working mysteriously when I tried to get out of there. And
You called me that night, and you were like, there was another guy on the phone that was going, "You gotta go, buddy, you gotta go."
and I have no recollection of
Yeah,
this.
when Uber doesn't fuck with you.
Buddy, you gotta go.
Buddy, you gotta go. I
That's
don't.
like an endearing way.
Yeah.
Friend,
It's like, get out of here. It's like, buddy.
excuse me,
You
friend.
gotta go.
You gotta get your big drunk ass out of here.
The most Midwestern way to kick someone out, like, "Hey, bud."
Hey, bud. Hey there, bud.
The slap of the knee of the bouncer.
Oh, you gotta go.
Well, time to
Oh,
go.
The knee slap.
Whip.
Okay, bud. All right, buddy. That's how I do on the phone with the bipolar narcissists that call me all the
Well,
time. It's like, okay. All right, bud. Thanks, buddy. No, thank you.
okay, guy.
Thanks, bud. All right, friend.
Just till they hang up.
You know, sometimes I gotta hang up on them. They don't even call me back because they know they're on some bullshit, and they're like, "Yeah, I was talking too much. I'd have hung up on me too."
Like, I get it.
Plugs. What else are you guys excited about?
Boy's gonna be coming out.
Movie Boy.
Yeah, we're almost done with that.
Movie Boy's really exciting. Played it last night, and the crowd.
They
Don't know how
they
felt.
liked it. I don't know. Maybe.
We don't know how that crowd felt about it because they had no emotions or something.
Yeah, they literally raised their hands when Jacob asked who's been to St. Louis.
Our first two songs were a little rough.
Yeah.
I didn't think so. Did you guys hear the original Red Power Ranger is launching a clothing line featuring Hitler quotes?
I did see that.
He says he had some pretty good one-liners. This is why. I mean,
Shout out Melody Inn. They had like the coolest jacket that Molly bought.
Molly bought the jacket at the Melody Inn.
Loads of shout outs on this episode.
Tyler's full of shout-outs.
It's fun to shout things out.
It's fun to shout things out. Olivia Rodrigo offers free Plan B and condoms in St. Louis.
Well, her management team just nixed that and said they can't do that anymore on the tour. So now all her fans are like, "What the fuck, fire your manager?"
Now limited edition. The Olivia Rodrigo condoms and Plan B from the St. Louis show, never to be given away again.
That's kind of whack.
It's the goddamn patriarchy. We wrote a song about it.
Yeah.
Shout out. Shout out.
Shout out Patriarch.
We back in, I think we are.
Is this Indianapolis? We are transitioning back into the land of Indianapolis.
I wish we could explore downtown a little more.
When we get out of here, it's going to change
Yeah, it's
right before.
we're right on the line. I think it's west of Indianapolis.
For real
is,
though, Indianapolis
Central
was
Time.
really cool. Like the downtown area was awesome.
Yeah, we got some great B-roll. I'm sure you'll see in this episode of downtown Indianapolis when the sun is setting on a beautiful spring day.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing better. The most Googled thing in Indianapolis apparently is why is everyone wearing cowboy boots?
It's 'cause
Keenan went and Googled why is everyone wearing cowboy boots, Indianapolis.
It's 'cause of the-
apparently- Oh, you did?
Yeah, no, that wasn't the most. It was cowboy boots themselves was the most Googled. But that was what I had typed into Google to
It's
figure out
'cause of
what
the
fuck was going
NASCAR.
on with everyone dressing like they were in Nashville with no country artists in town. So
Yeah, we kept trying to think of if there was some major country concert in town or something. There were tons of people out in Indianapolis the other night.
Well, you got the Indy 500.
Yeah, but why does that mean that guy had that cowboy hat on in
Oh
Steak
yeah,
Shake
and
downtown?
there's a homeless guy who thought Dee Dee was a famous musician.
Not that guy. I'm talking about the
I
guy.
know.
Oh, okay. But yeah, then there was one. What do you call? What is a positive? We don't know that he's unhoused, but he was asking for money, and he was out in the street. There was no house. He wasn't in front of a house.
Without home.
He didn't have his home with him, is what I'm saying.
he left his home at home.
And he thought Dee Dee was in the famous band that must have been
Yeah.
in town that night, but we didn't.
We told him that he was Tall Neck Johnson.
You look just like Tall Neck Johnson.
Tall Neck Johnson.
I can't fucking see
What are you trying to see?
over this trailer to see if I'm in the right lane.
I think you are. I think both these lanes. Yeah, you're good. Tall Neck Johnson.
Oh!
If Dee Dee became a country musician, I would say that should
Tall
be
Neck
his
Johnson.
name. Tall Neck
You
Johnson.
can try out one of my Telecasters, Diesel.
I don't like Telecasters.
Well, I mean, if you want the twang, brother.
Yeah.
You trying to twang, Jeans?
Nah, I'm probably good on the 20.
You're good on twang. You heard it here first, folks. Andrew Ludbrook, good on twang.
Good on
If I were
twang.
to go in like a country music route, I would definitely try and learn like the steel guitar or something.
Yeah, I really
That's
like
my
those.
favorite sound.
Yeah.
The twang is good.
That's why I played you that Garth Brooks song yesterday. One of you was saying you hooked up with an old lady, or like a hypothetical. Somebody made a joke yesterday about hooking up with an old lady, and that's what that Garth Brooks is about. That Garth Brooks song, That Summer. Maybe, because we were talking about closing the deal, and
Sealing
you
the
never
deal.
went back after that exchange on Twitter and closed the deal with your math teacher.
Seal the deal.
Yeah, I wish I would have.
It just you'd be a different person. The world would be a different place.
Yeah, it could have worked out.
Actually, it
Just
still could.
Just 2 more years, and I'll be legal. I would have been.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Just give me till. Just give me till.
Just give me till I'm
2016 to
legal,
suck it.
miss. Excuse me, madam. Can you wait till I'm legal? How dare you respond to me on Twitter? You know I can't handle attention.
Yeah.
What else is going on in Indianapolis?
Nothing now that we've left. Am
Long
I
enough.
right? I mean, am I right?
Oh yeah, it's been
Guys, stay tuned. Last week we were in Lawrence, Kansas. This week we're in Indianapolis and Cleveland. Next week, Madison, Milwaukee. No Antics, Femgrime, World Tour.
Who knows what?
Phase 1.
Who knows what tattoo we'll get next?
We're going to get tattoos. I'm going to need whatever drugs they're giving Joe Biden so that I can get a tattoo without my skin blowing me up. Any more shout-outs, Tyler?
All right.
All right.
All right.